me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill.
All right, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to my WWF Survivor Series 1997 review. So, Survivor Series 1997 was held on November 9th, 1997 from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And this was one of the highest attended Survivor Series in like all of Survivor Series history. It was at 20,593. That was the total attendance. And this is a pretty historic Survivor Series. You know, this is the good old Montreal Screwjob here, which I'm not going to go really into all the details with, you know, like all the politics, the backstage politics and behind, you know, what happened with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm going to be, you know, more focusing on the wrestling, what was going on in the ring. And to be honest, a lot of the show gets overshadowed with the Montreal Screwjob. You know, like a lot of the in-ring stuff, you know, gets overshadowed, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, let's quit wasting time and let's get started with this review. So, the show opens up with a 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match. We had the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn going, and then also you had the Godwins, Henry Godwin and Phineas, going up against the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, and the new Blackjacks, which is Blackjack Wyndham and Blackjack Bradshaw, which Bradshaw is JBL, or, you know, as he went down the line as is Bradshaw later. This is just your average 4-on-4 elimination Survivor Series match. The Guns, you know, the New Age Outlaws, they looked really good here. You know, this kind of really got their start into like D-Generation X here, you know. Got them, you know, elevated more. I'll tell you what, the fans right here, they were doing like a lot of like, you know, gay chants towards Billy Gunn here, which, you know, I mean, that was 1997 for you. That was the late 90s for you. You know, different generation here. Bradshaw, you know, he was really arguing a lot with the referee during the match. The Headbangers, I mean, like I said, this was just an average elimination Survivor Series match. The New Age Outlaws and the Godwins ended up getting the victory here. Nothing too crazy. I mean, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn were the survivors for the team. So, yeah, but it was an okay way to start off the show. All right, and then the next match we had was the Truth Commission, which was the Jackal, the Interrogator, the Sniper, and Recon, going up against the Disciples of Apocalypse, Crush, Chains, 8-Ball, and Skull. Yeah, this Survivor Series match was not that good. This is kind of a skippable match here. Which, the Truth Commission, you know, they seem like some like army type of guys, you know, and you got the Disciples of Apocalypse, you know, they're like this biker gang. Yeah, this wasn't that very good match here. It wasn't that good of a match. The Interrogator, he's like this like big 7-foot giant. He's kind of like a Giant Gonzalez, and that's a good way to put him. And he's like kind of like a what's that movie? Kind of like the Terminator. Kind of like he's kind of Terminator like. He's very tall. He's, you know, got big muscles. He's very sloppy in the ring. You know, he uses his like sidewalk slam like as a finisher. He was using that on quite a bit of people to eliminate him. Also, the Jackal in this match, was Don Callis, which I didn't know that. Which the Jackal ended up going on commentary after he got eliminated. So, you know, who would have thinking that the Jackal was Don Callis and he ended up being on this historic, you know, being on commentary on this historic pay-per-view. Survivor Series 97. So that's interesting about this match. But yeah, the Truth Commission ended up winning. The Interrogator, I think he ended up pinning Crush to win the match here for his team. So yeah, this match was not that good though. It was the worst match of the night. And then the next match we had was Team Canada, the British Bulldog, Jim the Angle Neidhart, Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon going up against Team USA, Vader, Goldust, Mark Marrow, Steve Blackman as well. And then in the corner of their team was Sable. So, Team Canada, they were getting cheered more than, Team USA here because, they were in Montreal. British Bulldog, he looked amazing in this match, like the power that he was doing. Like, he was doing some really nice suplexes, like on Vader in this match. Vader was looking good as well. I like the way he sells in the ring and the way he moves for a big man. He's just really good. Goldust, he was kind of like, he had this like broken arm. He saw this broken arm throughout the match, so he never really did anything in this match here. And also he just like broke up with I can't remember who it was at this time, but he broke up with someone, so he was kind of selling that storyline. Like I can't remember exactly who it was, but if you guys want to go down in the comments below, let me know who it was who he broke up with. So he was kind of selling that a little bit. Mark Marrow, he was with Sable and stuff. Sable was getting a lot of the action. A lot of fans were enjoying what Sable was doing. And then this is about the time where Mark Marrow, he was getting jealous of Sable because she was getting more of the attention than Mark Marrow was. She was, a good-looking woman, blondie, who had a big rack. That's what people enjoyed back in 1997. During this era. This is kind of the start. People say Survivor Series 97 is the start of the Attitude Era, which kind of looking at it now, yeah, I do see how this is the start of the Attitude Era here. But yeah, this was a really, really enjoyable Elimination Survivor Series match. It came down to British Bulldog and Vader. British Bulldog ended up hitting ended up hitting Vader with the ring bell and picking up the victory for his team. So, yeah. It was definitely a fun match. Steve Blackman, he was just there and stuff. But, yeah, this was definitely... Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon, they were really good. They really showed what they could do in the ring. But, yeah, fun match here. All right, and then the next match we have was Kane going up against Mankind. I gotta say this match could have definitely been a squash match, but it wasn't. Because Mankind was getting some offense in this match. I gotta say this about the match. They were doing that crazy, kind of like red lighting around the ring. Kind of what they did, did for Bray Wyatt, which RIP to Bray Wyatt. Kane, he was doing a lot of. He was doing some like Undertaker stuff here, how when Kane gets clotheslined outside of the ring, he lands on his feet, he kind of did mocking of what the Undertaker does. There was a really nice spot in the match where Mankind goes through a table, like he's on the ring apron, and it kind of takes a choke slam, but like he basically just gets pushed off the ring apron into the announce table, and Mankind goes flying through it. That was a pretty crazy spot in the match. Mankind does this cactus elbow off the ring apron, and he ends up screwing up his back. Looked like he really screwed up his back in this match here. There's two monsters going at it. Not Kane. Mankind was doing really good selling for Kane in this match. It was definitely an enjoyable match, but like I say, it definitely could have been a squash match, but, Kane ended up winning here. I think this was Kane's pay-per-view debut. I'm pretty sure it was, but yeah, definitely a fun match. I enjoyed it. All right, and then the next match we had we had Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson, the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal going up against the Nation Domination, Rocky Maivia, Farouk, Mustafa, and D'Lo Brown. So, I believe it was Farouk. Was it Farouk? Or it was someone. I think Farouk and like D'Lo Brown, they didn't last very long in this match. The Legion of Doom, they were hella over here in Canada, Montreal. Like, even though the show was in Montreal, they weren't going to boo all these like U.S. people, like these U.S. wrestlers, they were going to cheer them on. But yeah, Legion of Doom, they were hell over in this match. Rocky Maivia, he debuted a year earlier as a babyface, and then now he's a heel. So, and being a part of the Nation Domination, they were doing Rocky suck chants. I don't think they were doing Die Rocky Die, but I feel like that was starting to become a thing. Maybe it was before that. Maybe it was before he became a heel. That's when they were doing Die Rocky Die. But yeah, this was definitely a fun match. It came down to Rocky Maivia and Ken Shamrock at the end. Which Ken Shamrock, he was doing some like really nice punches. Really nice strikes on Rocky. It came down to Ken Shamrock, and then it was Rocky Maivia and was it D'Lo Brown? I think it was D'Lo Brown. Yeah. It was D'Lo Brown and Rocky Maivia, and then Ken Shamrock was by himself. But yeah, he put D'Lo Brown in the ankle lock, tapped him out, and then Rocky came in, and tried hitting him with the steel chair when the ref wasn't looking. And Ken Shamrock did this really nice counter from Rock's DDT, and counter it, and I think it was into like a belly. And then, then Ken Shamrock locked in his ankle lock onto Rocky, and he tapped out. And this was a really good way to set up their match that they had in the future, which, yeah, definitely fun stuff that they were doing with Rocky and Ken Shamrock at the end. Really fun match. All right, and then the next match we had was the Intercontinental Championship match. We had Owen Hart defending the title against Stone Cold Steve Austin and British Bulldog. Jim Daniel Neidhart, Doug Furnas, and Phil LaFawn were in the corner of Owen Hart. So back at SummerSlam 1997, Stone Cold got his neck broken from that pile driver, which that's probably one of the darkest moments in WWF history, with Stone Cold breaking his neck, because it could have been a lot worse for Stone Cold, but luckily it wasn't a lot worse for him. But yeah, so they had this match here at Survivor Series. Owen Hart, throughout the match, he was just kind of targeting, Stone Cold's leg, going after his bad leg, with that knee brace, trying to choke Stone Cold out, go after, target that neck as well. Because he was wearing a shirt that says Owen 316, and on the back it says, I broke his neck, which they were making a thing of it. Which Canada here, they were just like, this is like one of the first times like I heard Stone Cold getting booed here, he was getting a major heavy lot of boos, which he's usually a fan favorite. But yeah, Owen Hart, he was also trying to get himself disqualified. He even rang the bell at one point, try to disqualify himself. But yeah, this wasn't really a long match, because they were just, trying to be safe with both guys. They didn't want Stone Cold to get injured again. Yeah, so Stone Cold, he hits the stunner, 1, 2, 3, and new Intercontinental Champion is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So yeah, and then the fans cheer him, which was quite weird because throughout the match, he was getting booed, and then the fans, they just cheer him after. It kind of seems like this time, I think it was I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, but Edge, he was getting booed throughout the whole match, and then he hits a spear, he wins, and then people start cheering Edge. It was a pay-per-view in Canada. Maybe it was a Survivor Series as well. I don't know. But yeah, not much of a match. This basically trying to protect Stone Cold here. But yeah. And then the next match we had was the main event for the WWF Championship. We had Bret Hart defending the title against Shawn Michaels. So, like I said, we already know the story behind this match here with the whole Montreal Screwjob. And the one thing I don't really like about this match is there's just way too much stuff going on. You have so many people out there. You got a lot of refs out there. You got a lot of stuff that should not be out there. It seems like a mess because apparently Bret Hart, he showed up to the show late. So Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, they couldn't really discuss, what they were going to be doing in the match. So a lot of the majority of this match was just like the first few minutes was just them brawling outside the ring. They brawled in the crowd. You have Vince McMahon out there. You had Sergeant Slaughter. You had, just a lot of higher, up authority people out there as well. It was this is a crazy situation. And of course, Shawn Michaels, who's getting flipped off, getting booed so much, which I gotta say, I really enjoyed Shawn Michaels' entrance. That was a really good thing. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, like I said, the first 3 minutes of the match are I kind of really enjoyed it. With Bret Hart doing some really nice punches and Shawn Michaels. Of course, Shawn Michaels. He's a great seller. He was doing great stuff there. Did the nice the Ric Flair sell, so that was pretty good in the corner. He got Irish whipped in the corner and took the sell there. This was basically a typical match here. They were doing some nice sharpshooters, nice figure fours, your typical stuff. They had the ref bump. So, yeah, basically towards the end, Shawn Michaels pulls the ref in the way of Bret Hart. He's going off the top rope, and then after that, Shawn Michaels puts in the sharpshooter, and it was Earl Hebner. He comes to, rings the bell, and Shawn Michaels' music starts playing, which, this is Shawn Michaels' music, the sexy boy, is great for as a heel and a babyface. But man, it was great right here. His music came on, with how cocky Shawn Michaels is. They got him out of there. The fans were throwing shit in the ring, throwing popcorn, throwing beer stuff in the ring. It was crazy. So they got Shawn Michaels out of there. He was kind of pissed off that, he wasn't able to gloat around and stuff. But yeah, they got him out of there. And yeah, and then the show just goes off the air. So that was the whole Montreal Screwjob, which, what would have been crazy if they did like a documentary saying, oh no, this is, or we find out, years later that, oh, it was just a ruse, it was just a shoot. That would have been crazy. Because, it seemed like so believable, like, oh, what the heck just happened? This whole screw job here, which, yeah, maybe some of the reasons why, the Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, feud was so real is because, I think it could have been, a lot of it was about money. It could have been about girls. Could have been about their place in the card. It was different times, like Shawn Michaels, he was getting more of that push. It wasn't like 1994 anymore. Bret Hart wasn't on top. 1993, Bret Hart wasn't on top anymore. They were going into the Attitude Era. And, Turner, was offering, Bret Hart a lot of money and stuff. So, he didn't want to re-sign with Vince. So it was time for, it was just time for Bret to move on. And yeah, it's unfortunate that it had to end that way. Cause like I said, a lot of people remember the show for the screw job, Which this match could have been so much better if they didn't have all that screw job in there, and they could have had time to plan this match out. But yeah, that was Survivor Series 1997. Definitely, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button because it helps out in the algorithm. Also, go down in the comments, let me know what reviews you guys want to see for Survivor Series. I'm definitely going to be doing Survivor Series 98 later on this week, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to be doing some more Survivor Series reviews because not this upcoming Saturday, but the next Saturday, I think is the 26th, I believe, 25th? 25th, yeah, the 25th of November, because, yeah, 25th of November, that's when Survivor Series is, so I'm going to be doing a few more Survivor Series up until then. But this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will catch you guys in my next video whenever that may be.